moment of silence in memory of the victims of the attack in London.
As they reflect on the lives lost in London, there are security questions to reflect on too. In recent weeks, the UK alone has seen an attack near its parliament, then the bombing in Manchester, and now this London Bridge attack. Canada's public safety minister says threat levels here will remain at medium.
There is no information available at this time to Canadian authorities that would cause that level to change.
Still, security experts have to contemplate how to prevent an attack when it can happen in so many different ways. Just recently, we've seen knives, vehicles, and explosives used to kill.
The only really way to prevent it is to have intelligence beforehand.
While barricades and other checks and balances can help, that alone isn't going to stop an attack, says this former strategic analyst with CSIS.
In the absence of prior intelligence, what's a so-called small-scale attack, or I would call it a simplistic method attack, is next to impossible to stop.
Ralph Goodale says sharing intelligence intensifies after an attack.
But it's at a very strong level all the time to make sure that we know what we need to know and that we're in a position to respond effectively.
While attacks in Canada are rare, they do happen. In 2014, there was the shooting in Ottawa, just days after the hit-and-run killing in Saint-Jean-sur-Richelieu. The most deadly attack in recent years was the Quebec City mosque shooting, where the victims were 6 Muslim men. With massive celebrations planned for Canada's 150th birthday, there are questions about keeping everyone safe.
We continue to look at every necessary measure to ensure that Canadians can be safe and can have confidence in their safety.
Already this year, officials in Ottawa changed their New Year's Eve plans after a truck drove into a Christmas market in Berlin.
We had to go and put front-end loaders at all cross-section streets so that the young kids carrying the torches were not going to be harmed or run over.
But ultimately, the odds of an attack in Canada are much lower than in Europe or the UK, says Gursky.
They have thousands of people who become radicalized, and a percentage of those who move on to actually become violent terrorists. We have hundreds. They have thousands. Right there, that's an order of magnitude difference.
The Prime Minister says it's important that Canada Day celebrations remain open and inclusive as part of celebrating what it means to be Canadian. Catherine Cullen, CBC News, Ottawa.